I'm Kashish. All of us hate math, don't we? Math. Yes, but math can also be very interesting at times. Imagine building objects and monuments using math. You can't believe it, right? Math is used in many ways. It is used to build monuments. It is used as an important factor for creating attractive objects and monuments. I am here to say how math is used in architecture. Architecture is a visual art and the buildings speak the language math. Mathematics principle is to decorate buildings with mathematical objects such as tessellations. Tessellations are two tiles placed on a flat surface to create an attractive look. To meet environmental goals such as to minimize wind speed around the bases of tall buildings. Geometry to define spatial forms. Math can be used in a very different way if we want to. Fractal geometry and periodic tiling were used to provide interesting and attractive covering for buildings. In the olden times, if you are a mathematician, you can also become an architect. For example, if you are good at math and you can become a mathematician, you can easily become an architect and be signed for. Different types of maths are used to create buildings such as trigonometry, basic measurements, etc. The tessellations use three types of tiles, an equilateral triangle and two irregular continuums. Conclusion. So now we can conclude that without math there would be no buildings at all and you will not have shelter, which is one of the surviving essentials for us. So hope you all understood. Thank you.
Everyone present here. Darshana and I are here to explain about the golden ratio and the Fibonacci series. Let's move on. The golden ratio is also called the divine proportion and the golden section. Is it that precious? We have heard about ratios, ratio proportion. What is golden ratio? Golden ratio is the ratio between the whole and a part of the whole. It is mostly or approximately 1:1.61 and is known as pi, not pi. It is the relationship between everything in the world. Everything has a golden ratio in it. The Earth, the solar system, the galaxies, all the lights, and the nature too. The architects also plan and build buildings using the golden ratio. As Kashish already said that mathematics is involved, this is the concept involved. And this is an example of golden ratio present in our body itself. Our hand has the golden ratio. See, 1:1.618. This is the golden rectangle. This is known as the golden rectangle because it follows a sequence called the Fibonacci sequence that is going to be explained by Darshana. Next. This is an example that the golden rectangle is present everywhere, even in a picture for this case, and even the rose petals. And this is the building of the National Gallery present in London. This too has the golden ratio. Over to Darshana. Thank you.
Fibonacci sequence. Do you have any idea about it? Anyone? Okay, let me explain you about it. Fibonacci is an Italian mathematician. He introduced in Fibonacci sequence in West. And in India, many great scientists introduced Fibonacci sequence rule. That is, to find Fibonacci sequence, this is a formula. Xn equal to x n minus 1 plus x n minus 2. What is the sequence? The sequence is the number which you add 1 plus 1 equal to 2 and 1 plus 2 equal to 3, 2 plus 3 equal to 5 and 3 plus 5 add to 8. So this is the sequence. This Fibonacci sequence is found all around us, even the flower petals, seed heads. The perfect example is the sunflower. If you see the center part of the sunflower, it's arranged in the Fibonacci sequence. The vine cone and the shells, even our faces arranged in the Fibonacci sequence. Thank you.
To one more message here. I'm Kashish of grade 9. Let me start. Let me start the session with a question. I know you people are so bright and intelligent. Let me test your IQ level. Have a look at these pictures and name the buildings. What is the Egypt? Please record this. Let's see the answers. The first picture is Pyramid of Giza. It is located in Egypt. The second picture is Taj Mahal, located in India. The third one is Athens, located in UK. And the fourth one is Parthenon, located in Greece. When you look at these pictures, the buildings are in different shapes, right? Okay, how many of you here wanted to live in such type of buildings with different shapes? Only a few? Okay. But why are our houses not in these shapes? Why houses are mostly in rectangular or square shapes? Why can't they be in different shapes? Have you ever thought about it? Let's see the reasons. Rectangular or square plots. Many people buy rectangular or square plots and in which they build rectangular or square buildings. And fitting the furniture. The construction, when you build a spherical or a cylindrical house, the constructors face a lot of problems to fit the furnitures or air conditioners, heaters, etc. And the cost to build a spherical or cylindrical house will be more compared to the rectangular house which we live in. And the surface area of the sphere will be less compared to the rectangular house. So the house will be congested in case of sphere. Air circulation. When you look at this picture, this is a glass fixed in this dome, not the windows. So you will not get proper air circulation in these type of buildings, and there will be no proper ventilation. For example, the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The foundation for this building is only 3 meters deep inside the soil. And the foundation was built on a dense clay mixture. When the people started to construct the third floor of this building, the Tower of Pisa started to lean. It's because the foundation was not strong enough to uphold the weight of this building, and that's why the Leaning Tower of Pisa started to lean. So, in a cylindrical building, the foundation must be very strong enough to uphold the weight of this building. Just have a look at this building. You have doors and windows in this building, but the area is not sufficient. It is not equal to the rectangular house. It is congested, right? So you can see many buildings like this in many places, but we can't live in these type of houses. It will be uncomfortable for us to live in these type of houses.
If you are 8 to explain that why are manhole covers not? Can anybody say what are manhole covers? Let me explain you. Manhole covers are the removable plates. Anything or anybody from falling in. These are round because it is easier to manufacture than square or rectangular shapes. And these are so heavy, so it is easy to move from place to place by just rolling them. As an added benefit, workers don't need to line up the covers with any angles because round covers easy to slip into place. So, as you can see this, the main reason is if you take a square or rectangular shape and if any worker is working inside and the square cover is dislocated, it will fall inside and the worker can get hurt. But it is not a circular shape, it will never fall inside. I'll end my session with a
grade 9. I'm here to present how algebra is used in day-to-day life. Everyone has a question that why you want to learn maths, then why you want to learn algebra, whether it is used in future. I'm here to give an answer. Have you ever thought why do we need algebra? What's its uses? Let us see. Algebra is a part of maths. Algebra is a part of maths which algebra is a part of maths and plays a major role in our day-to-day life. Let us see some places where algebra is used. In grocery, when you go to grocery, you buy things. Suppose you are buying apples and bananas. You are buying 1 kg of apples. So the cost of 1 kg of apples be 50. Keep that cost as X. And keep the cost of 1 dozen of banana as 5. The cost of 1 dozen of banana is 30. So for finding the total, we will add it. So X plus 5. Can you guess the answer? So 18. This is how we use algebra. Even literates and illiterates use algebra, knowing and without knowing. And in petrol bunks, you give 100 rupees and say them to fill petrol for 100 rupees. So in that case, algebra is used. Algebra is used. The total cost of money is 100. Let it be as X and you can divide it by the cost of 1 liter. So let the cost of 1 liter be 50. Then what will be the how many liters the person can fill? So in this way we use algebra. Let's go deep. Have you ever taken a loan? When you go to banks, you see interest. By taking interest, we use some certain methods. So the methods which involves these things are used by algebras. And when you build a factory plan, you go and inquire every bank that whether the interest is low or high. So you choose the bank where the interest is low, and that interest is totally based on algebraic concepts. So when you save money, have you ever have pocket money? So when you get pocket money, you try to spend them and save them. So while doing that, you have addition and subtractions of money. So to make them right, we use some methods that methods are fully based on algebraic expressions. And landscape, your backyard. When you are having a plan to build a greenhouse. So for making that, you will measure the areas and how much plants you can keep inside. So for using that, we need algebraic concepts. Next, have you ever seen your mother cooking food? By cooking food, they give a proportion. Suppose you take a statement, example that you are eating a potato. Chili powder is in a correct ratio, but the salt is more. So what will happen? So you can't keep the food right. So for making it right, we make a proportion. That proportion is also based on algebra. Then traveling to abroad. When you travel to abroad, you can't use the Indian money. So you will try to change the money in foreign exchange or airports. When you exchange money, you will see what is the cost of 1 rupee, cost of $1 or €1. So on that time you use methods like algebra. So algebra is used everywhere, and don't think that algebra is waste. It's used in day-to-day life. So I like to end my session with a video. Thank you.
Good afternoon to one and all present here. I'm Amrita of class 9. Taj Mahal. We all know about Taj Mahal, right? Taj Mahal was built by the great Mughal emperor Shah Jahan in the memory of his beloved wife Mumtaz. It is one of the seven wonders of the world. It is also known as Monument of Love. But do you know that there is math behind Taj Mahal? Today, I am here to explain you about the mathematical concept behind Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is a great example of line symmetry. Line symmetry, when an object is divided into two equal halves, it forms a mirror image which is equal to one another. It is a great contribution to the mirror symmetry. Calculating the areas and volume of the building is very easy due to it is symmetrical in nature. So, do you know that the doors and the windows of the Taj Mahal have equal distance? Not only the building but also the tiles of the Taj Mahal represents mathematical shapes in them. Example of these are the tiles in the Taj Mahal. The use of symmetry in Taj Mahal also included in the architecture and design. For example, the garden in front of the Taj Mahal is carved in the shape of hexagon. And I hope you now learn some concept of math about Taj Mahal. I hope you'll remember about it. Thank you.
To explain about soil erosion. Soil is one of the man's most important natural resources. Soil is essential for plants, for growing crops, fodder and timber. Once the fertile portion of Earth's surface has been lost, it is very difficult to replace it. In India, the destruction of soil has already reached an alarming proportion. The destruction of soil by wind and water is called soil erosion. The removal of fine particles from the surface of Earth should be equal to the addition of particles to the surface. Since a balance is disturbed by natural or human factors, it is leading us to a rate of soil erosion. Over 80,000 hectares of cultivated land in India has been lost because of soil erosion. Soil erosion takes place when soil is removed faster than it is formed. Wind and water are powerful agents of soil erosion because of their ability to remove soil and to transport. Wind. Soil erosion by wind is most commonly in arid and semi-arid areas such as Rajasthan, Gujarat and Haryana. Water. Soil erosion by water is more serious and it occurs mainly in India and the southern parts of India in the form of gully and street erosion. The only way to prevent soil erosion is to adapt good farming techniques and stop deforestation and start afforestation. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity.
Definition: the force or attraction that exists between two masses, like between him and me. There is a gravitational force which we can't see, but we can feel it. Like you are attached to the ground because of gravity, or else you will be floating. I know that will be fun, but we are not lucky. Okay. Gravity depends on the mass of objects and distance between them. Greater mass or smaller distance is stronger gravity. Like the Earth is small, that's why stronger gravity is there. So I will read it.
Universal gravitation. Newton's idea was gravity was a universal force action between two objects. Gravitational field inside a planet. Blue shaded part on planet pulls you towards point C. The grey shaded part of the planet does not pull you at all. Gravitational force. If G is the strength of the gravitational field at the same point, then gravitational force of an object of mass at the point is F is equal to mg. If G is the gravitational equal to G into mm by r square, where G is constant proportionally. G is equal to 6.67 into 10 power minus 11. Now table number is going to explain you.
Okay, as I said before, Newton knew that gravitational force on the apple equals the apple's weight. Universal gravity. Newton's idea was that gravity was a universal force acting between any two objects. Like I said, between P and Silas. That's a gravitational force. And this one. This is the core. Like it thinks in Earth, and this is the core. This core alone pulls us inside. Like the core has the gravitational force which attracts us towards it, and we stay at the land. Gravitational force. G is the strength of the gravitational field, and some point then gravitational. This is the equations. F is equal to mg and F is equal to G into mg by r square.
At Earth's surface, Newton knew the gravitational force on apple is equal to the apple's weight, mg, where G is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Black hole gravitational force. Black hole gravity is the same as the original charge, the distance greater than the star's original radius. Black holes don't magically suck things in. Black hole gravity is instantly because you can get really close to it.
Okay, you know that black hole is a very strong thing which, like in your thought, you say that it sucks inside. Even it doesn't allow light to escape through it, but it actually doesn't suck things in. Like it is also having a very strong gravitational field which doesn't even allow light to escape.
Weight of the moon. Newton's calculation showed that the centripetal force needed the moon's motion was about 1 by 3600 mg. However, where m is the mass of the moon. Kepler's law. Kepler's law determined that the orbits of the planet were not perfect circles, but eclipsed with sun and the focus at 1 month. Weight of the moon. Newton reasoned that the centripetal force of the moon was also supplied by the Earth's gravitational force.
Okay, we are gonna end our session with a video. It is about
part of our life which are uninteresting and but they are important. So we can know and neglect it. A very happy afternoon to one and all present here. I welcome our respected coordinator ma'am, our beloved teachers, and all my dear friends. To start with the session, we are going to speak about a short presentation on concepts of science and maths.
Why is math so important? Here is Nashwan to tell us why it is.
Hi friends, I'm Rashwan from grade 9, here to tell you why maths is important in your life. So first tell me, why is maths important in your life? I'm going to tell you. Why is maths so important? Maths is also a language like English, French and German. But it is a language of numbers. It helps us perform daily tasks in our life. Why is maths is this? For example, if you solve a maths problem in your maths class, you feel that you are on the top of the world. Maths is understanding. If you learn it with interest and enthusiasm, maths will be very. Maths is used in every day and everywhere. Use maths daily. When reading the time and buying car or repairing a house in your own budget. Maths is everywhere. Maths is used all over the world by all types of people.
fuel? You all know. What's fuel? Which is used in cars, vehicles, and all types of vehicles. We know petrol, diesel, LPG, and CNG. We don't know anything more than that. I'm here to say something more than that. It's hydrogen and bioethanol. Can a car run with hydrogen present in atmosphere? Let's see about it. It contains electrochemical cells. It contains electrolyte and chemical reaction takes place. So it's electrochemical cell. Oxidation and reduction are two chemical processes which take place inside the cell to produce electricity. Hydrogen fuel cells use hydrogen as fuel, oxygen as oxidant, proton exchange membrane as electrolyte, and emit only water as a waste. As we know, normal petrol cars and diesel cars release CO2. Currently, before 15 days in Delhi, there was a trial run on ordinance to control pollution. So this type of vehicles can control pollution. This contains a battery, although but it needs a fuel. This is an example of a fuel cell car. There is a hydrogen tank present. Then H2 comes through the hydrogen tank. Oxygen from the atmosphere and H2O, water is released. Instead of CO2, water is released from hydrogen fuel cells. Can you guess which car is this? Model. The name of the car is Toyota Mirai. Toyota is a Japanese company. Mirai means future, the car of future. Okay. When this was launched on 1st November 2014, the current price of this is $57,400 in US. Now, my next topic. Can we use food as a fuel? Can we use food as a fuel? Yes. Okay. Do you know what is biomass? Biomass is any carbohydrate product which contains rich carbohydrate, starch and sugar. And some examples of that are sugarcane, starch and wheat. The sugar is fermented into ethanol, then starch is broken down into sugar to produce ethanol. Cellulose and hemicellulose is produced ethanol. These are the top 5 producers in 2010. Brazil with 16,500 billion liters, United States with 16,270 billion liters, China with 2,000 billion liters, and India with 300 billion liters. But currently, United States is leading with Brazil. Have you ever visited a fuel station? We use leaded petrol, whereas in United States and Brazil, they use unleaded petrol. Unleaded petrol do not produce harmful gases which pollute the environment. 87 and 89 are two products which are available currently in India. 87 means unleaded petrol, 89 means unleaded petrol with 10% of ethanol. I hope you understood what I spoke. Thank you.
Hello, and a very happy afternoon to one and all present here. I am Mridula, here to explain why our hair turns red when we grow old. Here are two pictures of a girl. This girl, when she was young, her hair used to be very black and shiny. But when she grew old, her hair turned grey. Why did this happen? I am here to explain the reason behind this. Our hair is made up of dead cells. But even then, it continuously grows from roots in our skin called follicles. These follicles contain a number of pigment cells which produce melanin. Do you know what is melanin? It is a pigment which is responsible for giving our hair a colorful hue. But as we grow old, these pigment producing cells in our follicle gradually die and produce less and less amount of melanin. As a result, our hair does not have much melanin and appears to look pale, grey or white in color. Eventually, the hair may also look completely white. I hope this not boring, and you have understood something from. Thank you.
Hello, present here. I am Shreya of grade 7. I am here to explain you what are stem cells, how it is applicable, and what are all its uses. Stem cells. What are stem cells? They are the undifferentiable cells which can be formed into different kind of cells. Let us see how it is. Where are these cells present? They are present in the bone marrows, hair follicles, circulating blood and blood vessels. And the right time to take the stem cell is from the umbilical cord of the baby. Now, what are the functions? As I said, it can be used to repair the tissues. It can be used to repair your organs. It can form into different kind of cells. In future, how will these stem cells be useful for you? If you preserve the stem cell, if you want to preserve the stem cell, the right time you take the stem cell from your umbilical cord, you must save it in a stem cell bank anywhere. And they will collect the stem cells and they will be keeping like this. And they will process it. They will be preserved like this. How will this help you in future if you get any disease? Suppose we take it as a blood cancer, which is also known as leukemia. This disease will be, doctors will use chemotherapy for this disease. If the chemotherapy fails, the doctor will take the stem cell from your bone marrow and they will use it. So please save your stem cells. Thank you.
And red at sunrise and sunset. I'm going to explain it. During daytime, the sun is slightly yellow because the blue color is scattered away by the fine dust particles and gas molecules present in the atmosphere. And it leaves a slightly yellowish color from the sun reaching the ground. And this also makes the sky appear blue during daytime. But when the sun is low in the sky during sunrise and sunset, the light from the sun has to pass through a much thicker layer of the atmosphere. As a result, short wavelength colors like blue and violet are scattered away and only red and orange reaches our eyes. And this is why the sun sometimes look orange or red at sunrise and sunset. Thank you.
A very happy afternoon to another present. I'm Mahalakshmi of 9th standard. I'm going to speak about why sky appears blue. Do anyone know why sky appears blue? Okay, the basic thing you have to remember is the sunlight is white in color. And the white light is composed of 7 different colors, mainly red, blue, and green. The red light has the longest wavelength and blue light has the shortest wavelength. When the rays from the sun is radiant to the earth has atmosphere which contains molecules of gases such as nitrogen, oxygen, and other dust particles. Before going to the next step, you have to remember one thing. The molecule is much smaller than the wavelength, which means that the wavelength the shorter wavelength will scatter more light. The blue scatters more light as compared to the red and green. This is why the sky appears blue. Thank you.
A very happy afternoon to one and all present here. I am Pritanya from grade 9 going to present a concept. Do anyone think why our lips get dry in winter? Yes, today I am going to explain why our lips get dry in winter. Naturally our lips dry out. This is because the air present in the atmosphere is totally dry and our lips do not have oil glands like your skin. Oil glands play a major role and lips do not contain oil glands. I think most of us have a habit to wet our lips when it is dry. at all. It makes your lips more versatile than before. The dry air in the atmosphere will absorb the moisture from your lips and it will evaporate the moisture and make it dry. And one more scientific reason why our lips get dry is in winter our skin chills out and immediately our body reflects and increases our body temperature. This is the one of the reason why our lips get dry in winter. Thank you.
To another presenter. I'm Kanchana, here with a beautiful concept. Why can't animals talk like humans? Have you ever thought, why can't animals talk like humans? I'm here with the answer for this question. Among all living beings, only human beings can talk using words. Other animals including birds use some other sounds to communicate with each other. But only human beings can talk. They cannot talk like human beings.